that's amazing. Is it in the desert and all that, sand and all
Yes.
that?
Yep.
What's it like to drive a truck through what is potentially the Sahara, but for America?
It's, at times it's really peaceful. You get out there and you're running, and you just it's just you and your co-driver in the truck, and you guys are just doing your thing and running your pace, and everything kind of goes away, and that's all you're doing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Have you ever had any disappointments, like you've come close to winning but lost it towards the end?
Times. The weekend before Long Beach, I was racing Battle at Prim, and it's a 2-day race. They're shorter, kind of like somewhat at Long Beach, where we race 5 14-mile laps on Saturday and 5 14-mile laps on Sunday. And on Saturday, I finished second place, 2 seconds off of first place. And on Sunday, I had got by the guy that finished in front of me the day before, put some time on him. I was in first place and got a flat.
Yeah. So was that like an uneventful run, the last one, or?
That was the only issue I had all weekend, but it definitely cost me the win.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Have you had any uneventful runs that you laugh at, or nah?
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many different, things out there. The Mint 400, we had a really good run this year. I started 11th in trophy truck, and I got all the way up to 4th on the road, and lost the third member. Yeah, no, this year's been a rough one. Last year, I podiumed every race but one. I got 3 first places last year, and the rest were all podiums. And the last race of the year, I'm going to 4th place. Last year was really clean. I finished every race mile, and so far this year's been a rough year. We've broken the last one I just had a flat, but every other race so far this year I've had some issues.
Yeah. Going through a slump a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I know what that's like. I remember in my karting days when I first got started in go-karts, I remember in my debut, it was a 50-lap race around a road course, and I qualified 7th, and throughout the 50 laps, I only passed one go-kart, and then on the final lap, a wreck happened, and I was lucky enough to finish 2nd, but I wasn't really that proud of the run because it seemed very uneventful for me, and I would have finished 6th if not for the wreck, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But then in the next race, I came back and won, and so that was consolation.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Have you ever had big victories?
I won the Trophy Truck Spec Championship last 2 years in a row in the Snore Series. That's pretty cool. As far as like one particular one, last year at the first race of the year, I got first place, and it was one of the first ones with my new truck that I won. That was a lot of competitors, decent turnout and quite a few trucks. It was pretty cool.
So does that mean you're basically an owner-driver like Robbie Gordon?
Yes, yeah.
How does it feel to have both the pressure of being a driver and an owner? Because when you look back in motorsports, it's pretty hard, and Darrell Waltrip once said that the reason why he failed NASCAR as a team owner-driver was because he thought more like a driver than an owner. What's that pressure like?
So, you definitely do think different, because it is your stuff. It affects your driving a little bit sometimes. I pretty much do everything myself. I prep my own truck. I do all my own work. I even prep other people's trucks. I drive for other people as well, and I drive my own, and I don't know. I'd say I drive my truck harder because it is mine, though, than when I do get in someone else's.
Got it.
I'm more cautious in someone else's truck. I don't want to crash someone else's where mine, I don't want to crash it by any means, but I will take more chances in my own truck.
Yeah, because at least you got to do what your boss says in other cars, you know, and you don't want to lose your job.
100%.
What's the best track you've raced at so far?
So my favorite course to race would be the Mint 400 course up in Prim in the Jean area, just south of Vegas. I do really well up there. It's super rough. They got really big rhythm whoops. They got big uneven whoops. Just the super rough course. But that's where I feel that I'm the best, and I do really well. I love all the races that are there.
That's amazing. Just a question, although you don't have to answer if you don't wish, but what ended up coming out of Long Beach wasn't just the amazing events and the winners and all the drivers interacting with fans. Apparently a scandal came out from a previous IndyCar race. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Apparently in IndyCar, a couple drivers were disqualified for having used a move on their car that was illegal, and yeah, there's a whole controversy about it. So you didn't hear about that?
No, I don't follow too much, and I don't watch really TV or the news or pay attention to much more than outside of my little what I do.
So you just went in there focused on yourself, really, right?
Yeah, we showed up and we rented a house there and had some friends and family come to spectate. We did watch the Indy cars on Friday practice, just because I'd never seen them. So we walked out there and watched them and watched a couple other things, but it was really warm. So Saturday we kind of showed up right before our race and then left afterwards. And Sunday, same thing. We showed up right before the race, and then I drove all the way back home Sunday. So when I got out of the truck, we took off. And
so you didn't stay for the whole thing?
No.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, you go from one job to another, you know.
And I had a race the weekend before, and then when we got back, I had to get ready for another race. So, I mean, my time was very limited.
That's understandable as a race driver compared to a fan, you know.
Yeah. No, I've already been, it's April, I think we've done 5 or 6 races already this year.
Yeah. Do you have any major sponsors or good sponsors that have backed you?
Pretty much just me so far. We kind of fund everything. I haven't pushed too hard for the sponsor stuff. Like I said, I'm not very good with the whole promotion things and going out. I kind of just do my own thing. This year, the guy I've been driving his truck, he's helping out quite a bit. But other than that, no, just our.
I see what you mean. That's pretty impressive, you know, running an independent team pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you have guys that help work on your car or pit stop or refuel for you?
All my pit crews are volunteer-based. Friends and family and people I've met throughout the years of racing. It's different crew every time, whoever can make to what race. I got some guys that, you know, can kind of almost make it to every one, and some that can only make it to certain ones, and we just, whoever wants to come help.
Makes sense. So, who is your sponsor in Long Beach? Was that also yourself?
No, so Dave, the guy that I'm driving his trophy truck, the truck I drove with the Mint 400, the owner of that truck, is the one that funded that weekend.
Cool. Who'd you get along with the most in the entire Stadium Super Truck drivers?
I'd say I talked with Matt Bratham and I want to say it was Miles Cheek that was parked next to me probably the most. And Hernquist, is that?
Trey Hernquist, yeah.
Trey Hernquist, yeah. I probably talked to them the most.
Not surprised about Miles Cheek. When I heard that he won the Stadium Super Trucks, I was really happy because he previously appeared on my channel last year and to talk about his Stadium Super Truck career, and you can imagine that as a podcaster you get really happy when you see your guests go on to become bigger than when they were, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So that was kind of that felt like a win for me as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome to see him get that, and hopefully you will as well.
Yeah.
So, where do you operate your shop at? Is that at your home, or is it...
Yeah, Yeah, I got a big shop at my house.
Yeah. Is that truck that you recently aired a video at on your social media that I saw?
What color?
I think it was yellow or something.
That truck's Dave's, but yes, that's me driving.
Yeah.
My truck is orange. Actually, all my trucks are orange. I have a couple of them. And one of them's pink right now. My wife raced at a powder puff race a couple weeks ago, so I painted it pink for her. It was a breast cancer funded charity type of thing. They were donating money to breast cancer.
Ooh.
So we painted the truck pink, and she went and raced it at the powder puff race, but it will be orange again.
Yeah. It's awesome that you guys are supporting cancer awareness and trying to help with finding a cure for that monster, you know?
Well, for sure.
Hopefully you guys keep doing it. I hope someone will eventually sponsor you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, what are your hopes for the future?
This year, racing the whole score series in a trophy truck. And my wife is racing the Snore series in a 6100. I'll be driving a little bit with her, but she's going to do most of the driving. And my 6-year-old son's starting to race this year. He's going to be getting a Razor 170 here real soon for his first race. So
that sounds really good. So, where can people find you?
As in?
Social media and all that.
I have an Instagram. Just RJ Stidham Motorsports.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I have for now, but I thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
So my final question I have, which is, how can your journey impact the world?
I couldn't answer that. I don't know. Just trying to grow the sport, the desert racing sport bigger, I guess. If we could do that, would be what our goal is.
Yeah, and hopefully Stadium Super Trucks will run more races.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So that's all I have for now, but I thank you for coming on.
All right, thank you.
No problem. So everybody, please sponsor or reach out to RJ Stidham at his Instagram page. Sponsor his truck, someone, because he's a great driver. And we'll see you next time on SFM.